You were 6, tiny fist in my old coat sleeves. Said, why do people go in the parking lot? Cold air and steam. I watched your breath like little ghosts leaving your mouth. You held my hand too tight, afraid of what you'd figured out. I knelt down by the yellow lines, car doors slamming all around. You asked me, will you leave me too? I had to choose my words out loud. I said, one day I'll be gone. That's just how this life is made. But I'll leave my laugh in your hallway, my name in your middle name. I'll be the way you stir your coffee, the way you curse at the evening news. When you're the one who's leaving, you'll know I stayed inside of you. Years rolled on, you grew tall and I grew tired. You drove us home that night, first time I let you take the drive. You asked me then, did your father talk to you? I watched the streetlights slide across your knuckles, trembling blue. I cleared my throat, it cracked in half like ice on some forgotten lake. Said he left me more than he ever knew, and every choice I still can't shake. One day I'll be gone. That's just how this life is made. But I'll leave my worst and my better in the habits you love and hate. I'll be the way you slam the front door, the way you stay till the bitter end. When you're the one who's leaving, you'll hear me talking through your chest again. You said I'm scared to hurt someone like I've been hurt. I said you will, but you'll also hand them water, bread, and shirts. You'll say the wrong thing right when they need you most. But if you're brave enough to stay, you'll turn from shadow into host. Yeah. One day I'll be gone, so take the good and break the chain. Keep the soft, rewrite the anger. Let my failures feed your change. Be the way you call your children back inside when the sky turns blue and you're the one who's leaving. Let them feel you stayed like I stayed for you. So when you're the one who's leaving, don't just disappear from view. Leave a light on in their memory, like someone once did for you. You were small in the doorway, shoes untied, eyes on the floor. Ask me, babe, why's the world so heavy when I'm only 8 years old? I burned our dinner that evening. We ate toast. You laughed in the dark, said I don't know all the answers, but I can walk you through the heart. I said, you won't dodge every heartbreak, you won't win every fight, but I'll sit with you in pieces till the pieces start to line. These are just lessons in the rearview, little truths scratched on your heart. You'll break down by the highway, you'll lose light, forget your start. But when your hands begin to tremble and your faith feels paper thin, remember, son, you don't drive this road alone. I'm right there riding in the wind. Years passed, you slammed that front door, said my rules were rusted and wrong, told me you don't understand me, then you left before dawn. I sat up on the old porch steps, coffee cold, sky turning gray. Whispered God, keep his wheel steady till his anger fades away. You called from some crowded city, static fear in your voice, said, Dad, I messed up so badly. I said, son, you still have a choice. These are just lessons in the rearview, bitter roads, borrowed time. You might feel like a failure, like you're stuck on the center line, but when your pride is torn wide open and you're tired of holding in, remember, son, you can always come back home. I'll be there opening the gate again. Oh yeah. One day you'll hold your own child, watch this small world shake and bend. You'll see my face in the mirror, hear my words rise up again. Tell them you don't have to be fearless, you just have to stay and try. Teach them storms can flood the valley, but they can't steal the sky. These are just lessons in the rearview, not a map, just crooked lines. Every scar a quiet teacher, every wrong turn redefined. And when I'm gone and you are driving past the house where you began, remember, son, if you listen You were 6 in the doorway, shoes on the wrong feet again, tears on your brand new backpack, scared of the bigger kids. You asked, do I have to go? I knelt down by the stairs, said, every first step feels like that, take it anyway, even scared. These are the things I hope you learn when I can't be there to watch you turn. When the night gets loud and your hands both shake, you can bend, 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 but don't you break love heart. Speak soft, stand firm. These are the things I hope you learn. You were 16 with the engine running outside in the rain, hands tied around that steering wheel, heart full of someone else's pain. You said, Dad, I really hurt her, eyes fixed on the dashboard light. I said, owning what you shattered is how you start to make it right. These are the things I hope you learn when the past comes back and your bridges burn. When you lose yourself for one small mistake, you can bend, 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 but don't you break. Say sorry like you mean each word. These are the things I hope you learn. Ask for help before you're drowning. Leave when hands start turning cold. Choose the truth when lies feel lighter. Carry stories, not just gold. Call your mother on the good days, not just when you fall apart. And when you feel you've got no answers, lead with your open heart. These are the things I hope you learn when it's your turn to watch life turn. When a small soft voice calls your name at daybreak, you can bend, 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 but don't you break. Hold them close and let them yearn. These are the things I hope you learn. You said, son, you're running like the house is on fire. Who lit the match? In your own hands. You're chasing every echo that you swear is a choir. But you'll never hear the song if you don't learn to stand. This is what I've learned from falling. You don't break the way you think. You crackle on the quiet places. You forget to let string. Every bruise can be a road map. Every scar can be a sign. You don't have to be me, my boy, to get it right this time. You ask, did you ever feel this hollow and tired? I laugh. More than I'll ever confess. I held too many dreams like they were barbed wire, till I bled through my shirt. Called it progress. And this is what I've learned from falling. You don't break the way you think. You crackle on the quiet places. You forget to let shrink. Every bruise can be a road map. Every scar can be a sign. You don't have to be me, my boy, to get it right this time. Don't drink to drown the questions. Oh no, don't shout to hide your fear. Call the ones you say you die for. Let them know you're still right here. You don't owe the world your armor. You don't have to always win. Just promise when the dark gets louder, you'll let somebody in. And this is what I've learned from falling. You don't break the way you think. You crackle on the quiet places. You forget to let shrink. Every bruise can be a road map. Every scar can be a sign. You don't have to be me, my boy, to get it right this time. You don't have to be me, my boy, to make your own life shine. You were 6, boots too big on your feet, mud all over my truck seat, asking why the world can be so mean. You held a frog like it might break in your hand. Said, Dad, why's everyone so mad? I just sighed and kicked at the sand. Son, the world is heavy, but you don't have to hold it alone. Take what makes you kinder, leave what turns your heart to stone. You'll fall, you'll fail, you'll flinch at your reflection. That's how you grow, how you learn your own direction. The weight you choose to lay down, that's what you carry home. You were 12, first fight, split lip, shaky chin. Said they laughed at the place I'm in, like shame was ink on your skin. I cleaned the blood, dropped ice cubes in a glass, told you everything, even this will pass. But the way you treat yourself will last. Son, the world is heavy, but you don't have to hold it alone. Take what makes you kinder, leave what turns your heart to stone. You'll break, you'll bend, you'll doubt your own reflection. That's how you find, how you feel your own connection. The weight you choose to lay down, that's what you carry home. One day you'll drive past this old leaning tree with some kid asking you what my words meant to me. You don't have to quote me, just tell him what you've known, that hurt can turn to healing when you don't nurse it alone. Son, the world is heavy, but you don't have to hold it alone. Take what makes you kinder, leave what turns your heart to stone. You'll stand, you'll stay, you'll stare at your reflection. See every scar as a map, not a confession. The weight you choose to lay down, that's what you carry home. The weight you choose to lay down, that's what you carry home. It's late, you're half asleep, cartoon still on the screen. Your shoes by the front door, your backpack split at the seam. You ask me, what's it mean to be strong, to be a man? I took a breath, sat on the floor, held your small, impatient hands. So hear me now, my restless one. You don't have to carry every stone. Being brave is crying when you feel all alone. Love clumsy, let your pride unlearn. These are the things I hope you learn. Some friends will fade like chalk, rain will wash them from your days. Some roads will lead you nowhere, walk them anyway. You'll say some words in anger you'd give anything to take back. Say I'm sorry faster than you learn to attack. So hear me now, my wandering one. You don't have to always know the way. Being strong is staying when it feels easier to stray. Love loud, love clumsy. Let your stubborn heart turn. These are the things I hope you learn. Oh, one day you'll stand where I am, looking at your own kid's face. You'll hear my voice inside you, like a song you can't erase. When you don't know what to say, when the world feels cruel and hard, just sit down on the floor and lead with your heart. So hear me now, my grown-up one. If you fall, you're still enough. Being real is asking when you finally had too much. Love alive, love clumsy. Let the quiet truth burn. These are the things I hope you learn. Love loud, love clumsy. With every scar you earn. These are the things I hope you learn. Tying your shoes in the hallway, backpack bigger than your back. Ask me why the sky gets angry, why good things never last. I'm leaning on the chipped door frame, coffee going cold in my hand, trying to turn my broken English into something you'll understand. So when the road feels long and your name feels wrong, like it don't fit in your own mouth anymore, When the night runs deep and you can't find sleep, hear my voice like a knock at your front door. You're the one thing in this life I didn't lose. That's the road you'll never walk alone, my boy. That's the road you'll never walk alone. You'll meet a love in a small town bar. She'll leave before the leaves turn red. You'll stare at your reflection, say things you never should have said. You'll learn that all your heroes were just men with shaking hands. Take the fear that lives inside you, turn it into how you stand. So when the road feels long and your name feels wrong, like it don't fit in your own mouth anymore, when the night runs deep and you can't find sleep, hear my voice like a knock at your front door. You're the one thing in this life I didn't lose. That's the road you'll never walk alone, my boy. That's the road you'll never walk alone. You're gonna fail that big exam, miss that call, lose that friend. You'll think the story's over, but it's barely chapter 10. Remember how your little hand wrapped around my finger tight, so tight. That's how I am holding you long after I'm out of sight. Yeah, when the road feels long and your faith feels gone, like you're standing in a crowd of empty chairs. When the night runs deep and you can't find sleep, say my name like a quiet, simple prayer. You're the one thing in this life I didn't lose. That's the truth I carved in blood and bone, my boy. That's the road you'll never walk alone. You're tying your shoes in the hallway. Someday you'll teach your kid this song. Pass it down in your own language, so they know they never walk alone. You were small and in the backseat, kicking holes in the dark, asking me if this world ever grows a softer heart. I watched headlights on the dashboard like ghosts drifting by. Said, son, the road stays crooked, but you still decide. Keep your hands on the wheel, even when the sky goes black. When the rain writes your name across the glass in jagged tracks, you won't always feel ready. You might spin, you might slide, but keep your hands on the wheel and your heart on your side. called from a payphone, first time you ran out of love. Said, Dad, I lost the map somewhere between pride and trust. I could hear your breathing tremble through the humming line. Said, bravery ain't the absence of being terrified. Keep your hands on the wheel, even when the sky goes black. When the rain writes your name across the glass and jagged tracks, you won't always feel ready. You might spin, you might slide, but keep your hands on the wheel and your heart on your side. You'll break what you cherish, you'll say what you regret. You'll learn love is a promise you remake when it's wrecked. When the mirror shows a stranger in your own tired eyes, remember you're the same kid who asked me, Daddy, why? Keep your hands on the wheel, even when the sky goes black. When the years feel heavy like a suitcase on your back, you won't always feel steady. You'll bend, you won't always rise, but keep your hands on the wheel and your heart on your side. And if one day you're driving with a small voice at your ear, tell them roads can be ruthless, but they're not in charge of fear. Say you won't always be ready, you might spin, you might slide, just keep your hands on the wheel. I'll be here on your side. You were 6, boots on the wrong feet, backpack open, dragging down the street. Sky looked bigger than your little hands. You said, Dad, what if I can't do what I planned? I knelt down, dust on my jeans, brushed off your shoulders, said, hey, look at me. The road feels longer when you start so small, but the first scared step still counts most of all. So if your voice shakes, say it anyway. If your heart breaks, love again someday. If the dark feels deeper than the light, you can borrow my last good advice. Walk on, even when you're not alright. That's the way you learn to hold your own weight tight. Years sped past like postcards and smoke. We fought hard over words we never spoke. You slammed doors, I stared at the same, both of us drowning in what we didn't think. You called late, rain in your breath, said, Dad, I'm failing, I'm scared of the rest. I closed my eyes, pictured your small hands, said, son, it's all right to not have a plan. If your voice shakes, say it anyway. If your heart breaks, love again someday. If the dark feels deeper than the light, you can borrow my last good advice. Walk on, even when you're not alright. That's the way you learn to hold your own weight tight. You asked me once, how do you stay strong? I laughed and said, you think I've been all along. Truth is, kid, I've just kept moving through. Every time I fell toward you. When your voice shakes, sing it anyway. When your heart breaks, let it crack, don't look away. When the dark feels endless in the night, you can lean into this old worn out advice. Walk on, even when you're not alright. 'Cause the bravest ones still cry before they rise. And if I'm gone before you get it right, play these words back in your quiet nights. My love's the part you never have to fight. Walk on, my son. Walk on through the night. Lacing up your first real boots, mirrors got you standing tall. You say you're ready for the world out there, like the world won't make you crawl. You're talking big about forever, like it's something you can hold. I smile and sip my coffee, thinking how I heard that story told. Let me teach you slow how to break and still be breathing, how to walk away from the things you thought you'd keep, how to lose your way and find grace in the leaving. Son, the hardest part of growing is learning what you don't get to keep. You asked me if I ever felt this sure, this right, this strong. If I knew the one I gave my heart would stay for all that long. I stare a little past you at a ring inside a drawer. say, yeah, I thought I knew it, then I don't say anymore. Let me teach you slow how to break and still be breathing, how to walk away from the things you thought you'd keep, how to lose your way and find grace in the leaving. Son, the hardest part of growing is learning what you don't get to keep. One day you'll hear a quiet finding these world's about to change. One day you'll hold a tiny hand and every promise feels rearranged. You'll fail in ways that crack you, you'll love in ways that save. You'll learn that being strong is knowing when to bend, not break. Oh, let me teach you slow how to break and still be breathing, how to stand back up when the ground's pulled from your feet, how to say I'm wrong and make peace with the pieces. Son, the bravest kind of loving is knowing what you don't get to keep. So go and live your first mistakes. I'll be right here growing old. And when the world feels too heavy, come sit, I'll pour the coffee cold. We'll talk about the ones who left and the ones who chose to stay. I can't walk the road for you, but I'll light it when you lose your way. You were 6, mud on your knees, proud of the mess, held up that frog like a treasure. Said, Dad, did I do this right? I laughed too hard. Said, wash your hands, and I turned away. Thought I had years for a better phrase. Didn't know how fast you'd grow. These are the things I wish I told you when you needed more than you'll be fine. You ain't your failures, they don't own you. You can start over anytime. When the weight gets heavy on your shoulders and the night feels bigger than you, reach for the love that lives inside you. And know I always believed in you. You were 16, keys in your fist, jaw set like mine, back down the drive, eyes fixed ahead, didn't look once in the mirror. I stood there leaning on jokes, 'cause I feared the truth. Boy on the brink, man in your shoes, I should have said I see your fear. These are the things I wish I told you. When you need it more, then you'll be fine. You ain't your anger, it won't hold you. You can let go at any time. When your hand starts shaking on the steering and the road feels bigger than you, you can come home. Doors always open, and know I always believed in you. You'll break some hearts, you'll break your own. You'll drink too much, you'll feel alone. You'll think the silence means you're done. It's just the space before the sun. You'll call me late, or maybe you won't. I'll answer anyway in my bones. My boy, my blood, my proudest wound. I'd give you every scar I earned too. These are the things I'm gonna tell you while I still got breath and time. You are my reason, you are my mirror, you are the best of my life. When the years start weighing on your stories and your hair turns the color of truth, hold your child's hand, look a little longer, and say I always believed in you. You were 6, mud on your knees, eyes shining through. If I forget every other thing, remember this, I believed in you. You were 5 in your cardboard armor, plastic sword and a tape-tied shield. Ask me, can I beat the monsters? I said, some you just learn to yield. I burned the toast, you laughed for hours. Jam on your cheeks, both shoes untied. You said, Dad, will I grow stronger? I said, strong just means you stay and cry. These are the things I hope you learn. How to stand, how to wait, how to turn, how to say I'm scared and stay anyway. How to lose a fight, still walk toward the light. Son, be gentle with your horse along the way. You were 16 with a packed up backpack, angry words on the kitchen floor. Slam that door like a vow you meant it. Drove all night crying till the dawn. I watched the taillights fade to embers, hands that shook, but I let you go. Love is not a chain, remember. It's a porch light always left on low. These are the things I hope you learn. When it breaks, you can still return. You can say I'm wrong. name. You can lay your pride down like a jacket on cold ground. Let someone you heard off the rain. One day you'll hold a hand that trembles. Look down and see your Father's face in the mirror of a smaller shoulder, trying hard to fill your place. You'll want to fix every fear, every teardrop, yeah. But some storms you just sit through. Sometimes the bravest words you ever offer are "I'm right here beside you." These are the things I hope you learn. Every scar is a kind of turn on a map you keep folded in your chest. You will break, you will mend, you will lose your truest friend. Love them fiercely. Every moment you are blessed. If my voice just becomes a story told soft in a tired room, let it be this line that lingers. Son, there's always space in my heart for you. You're standing in the hallway, tie hanging crooked on your chest, trying to hide the tremble like it's just another test. You say, what if I can't do this? What if I turn out the same? Son, the only thing that scares me is the weight you think is my name. When you're carrying my name, don't you carry my mistakes. You ain't here to lift my history like a load you gotta take. Let my scars be your compass, not the shackles on your chain. Be the man I only dreamed of when you're carrying my name. You see me in my fury, saying things I can't unsay. Heard bottles on the counter, heard your mother softly pray. But you also saw me curled up on the floor with all that shame. Boy, I broke so you could witness where that road will always end. When you're carrying my name, don't you carry my mistakes. You ain't here to lift my history like a load you gotta take. Let my scars be your compass, not the shackles on your chain. Be the man I only dreamed of when you're carrying my name. You ask if I am proud of you, more than words can ever show. Proud of every quiet kindness that I never let you know. Take my jacket, leave my anger, take my story, skip my pride. Take the courage, lose the silence, say I love you while there's time. When you're carrying my name, don't you carry my mistakes. You ain't here to lift my history like a load you gotta take. If the road I walk looks broken, turn your wheels a different way. I will cheer you as you change it. That's the reason that I stay. Be much braver. I won't feel 1 ounce of shame if they never say I raised you. They'll just know you by your name.